Here's a good flowing water right next to our road. See that sheen on the top of there? That's oil. Don't pull your water from here. This is not a good place. You want something away from roads. Higher up the better. As far away from people as you can get. I'm not taking water from here. I got enough. Wouldn't it be interesting to know history? I've never heard of Fort Detrick, Snyder. But apparently it was a big, important fort, and it was here someplace anyway. So maybe somebody does know about it, can tell us. I just finished reading all about Fort Detrick Snyder and turned around to continue on the path straight ahead. Do you see what I see? I saw a white blaze. It's not, it's a blue blaze to the spring. Here's what I totally missed. And apparently, the trail goes that way. I don't see a blaze that direction, but that would make sense. As I'm hiking along, I sometimes stop in and check out the little campsites along the way, just to check them out. Fortunately, it looks like somebody left some garbage in the fire ring for somebody else to clean out. They did, somebody built a little wall. Kind of interesting. I've seen this before. It blocks the wind. See anything else here that looks a little bit unusual? It looks like that whole tree is hanging in air. This is a widowmaker, almost any direction. When that thing decides to let go, who knows where it's gonna go? Okay, it just goes right up in there. All right, so I'm back here again. I went down that trail, and that's where I found the campsite with that wicked widowmaker. It seemed like a whole tree just hanging in air. But there are no white blazes. And after a while, okay, bring out far out, hit the GPS button. It shows me way off the trail, so I knew to come back. Far out is a great app. You go 100 yards and it knows that you're not on the trail. You don't get lost for very long. So I'm back up here at this tree. There's a blue blaze down here. So that's clearly not the AT, that's a blue blaze to the spring. There's a sign here, says spring. And the AT, which I'm on, is changing. Yeah. Guess what? It sneaks off behind the memorial for Fort Detrick Snyder. And there's the white blaze. I should have seen it before. All right, so getting lost is okay. You don't have to worry about that. Everybody does it. So the AT is rerouted here. The old one's closed for environmental issues. Boy, and I'm not sure, but look at all those bushes and branches and logs. I'm gonna bet that was the old AT, and they want to discourage us from going there. I'm discouraged. I'm taking the new way. Here's a better view of the closure. Some heavy-duty logs. Yeah, you're not gonna make it through there. Oh, you might. Don't take it on as a challenge, though. Here's the way to go. Who was Caleb Franz, I wonder? I'll never know. I'm not going to take his trail. This is the way I'm going. Come with me. Well, here's that other end. At least they're consistent. Both ends are closed. That kind of assumes the middle is closed. Though they did not pick one that had a lot less rocks. There's rocks everywhere. This was actually kind of sweet though, this last little part. But there's lots of rocks. I just met a scout troop from Delaware, and they were out hiking, spending a week on the AT. Great kids, a great program. Oh, there's some more rocks. Okay, I've got to give you more of the story. When you come to these logs across the road, across the trail, sorry, you're going to think, oh, John's dad told us that when there's logs across it, you shouldn't go that way. Well, no, not in this case. These are for erosion. Notice they're not at 90 degrees to the trail. They're 30 to 45 degrees. And they go over to something like that, which right now that is blocked off, possibly because people thought it was a trail. It looks like a trail, but it isn't. You want to keep going straight. This is lunch today. This is my second one, a tortilla with some organic peanut butter on it. I've got, I don't know, I think it's almond butter for next week. They came in my resupply, but I haven't opened it yet. I'm still working on last week's food. I roll this up into a tortilla kind of shape, and I squeeze the end so it doesn't squirt out peanut butter all over everything. It's a lesson learned from a previous experience. Pretty yummy, full of protein, hopefully lots of energy too. I think it's really funny that Lenny and Larry's thinks that a cookie can be 2 servings. It's only 1 serving. 420 calories in 1 cookie. All right, what do we do now? Here's the white blaze, but there's a tree right there. So therefore the trail must go this way, right? No blazes down there. Oops, sorry for the bump. There it is up there. The trail goes this way. Gotta keep your head on your shoulders. I'm not stopping here, but let's evaluate this as a potential camping spot. Nice big fire ring and a bench or a log to sit on. It's basically flat with no bowl. It is slightly tilted, so any rainwater would flow off. But we could put maybe 4 tents here if you're friendly. Also, there's room in the area for hammocking. How about widowmakers? A couple branches on this tree that look dead, but they've been there for a while. No high risk they'd come down specifically today. That tree that's leaning there, it's a live tree, so it's probably not coming down. This would actually be a really nice place to stay if this is where I was going to stay. I'm feeling really upbeat now. I'll have to tell you about it later when I do my roses, buds, and thorns. This is a view, unrelated, on the Appalachian Trail, unimpeded by power lines. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's some turkey vultures flying around out there. Pretty beautiful. Well, I'm still on a high after meeting Salt from Sweden, and I'll tell you about that in my roses later. I got here, and I think I'm pretty lucky. Another hiker was here and doing water, and it didn't seem to make sense when the 501 is, I don't know, what is it, 0.7 from here. That's the place to get water. Apparently the water is shut off. They're either trying to discourage homeless people or some other rumor, I'm not sure. But my plan, my drinking plan and everything was contingent on there being water at the 501 as advertised. So I had to go down about, a tenth and a half and then a tenth and a half back up to get water. The spring here is flowing really well. That's no problem at all. And there's a little log there to sit on while you're filtering your water. I'm a wimp. I always filter and use chemical tablets. It just makes the water safer, I think. So just be aware if you're going to 501, check to see the exact water status. What is it? Because it makes a big difference. It took me a while, but I finally got here. I believe I actually have a 0.2 or 0.3 hike into the shelter still. I'm gonna go this way. Follow along. I reached the actual 501 shelter. It's quite a hike. They have no water here, but there is electricity over at the caretaker's house. So that's where I'm headed now. Here's the shelter. I'll do some more recording on the inside. There's some other people in there, so I want to be respectful of them too. And it looks pretty nice inside, actually, solid beds, plywood, but I think it's going to be great. And a cool sunroof. So I'll show you later. Well, it's after dinner at the 501 shelter. I'm sitting over by the caretaker's house. Just want to give you my roses, buds, and thorns. My big rose for today. I ran into a woman from Sweden, and I had heard about her. Her trail name is Salt. I heard about her maybe on my second day out here on this section hike that I'm doing. That she had to go home back to Sweden because her 30-day visa or her 90-day visa had expired. She needed to go back and get another one. And so I knew she was coming, at least that she wanted to. I was putting notes in the shelters in Swedish saying greetings to Salt. And so now, as she goes forward, she knows to look for him. So she and I talked for about a half hour in Swedish. I probably have not mentioned I was an exchange student to Sweden back in the 70s, so I learned to speak Swedish and have an affinity for everything Swedish. And so that was a big high. I was hopping down the trail for the afternoon after that. That was a lot of fun. Let's see, for buds, I'm looking forward to making some good miles tomorrow. I am a little bit worried about the rain coming. And so maybe one of my buds is I'm gonna hop over the trail during the rain and drop into Duncannon for a couple days of zeros. I've got a credit card, so I can do that if I want to. Thorns, my feet hurt. I'm not able to go as fast as I'd like to, but I'm gonna build up to that. And what I understand is south of Duncannon, the rocks go away. And so that makes it a little bit easier to hike. Because on a flat trail, I can do over 3 miles an hour. And I'm struggling to do 1 mile an hour on these rocks. Otherwise, it's good. The weather's good. The weather's gonna be good tomorrow. Not too hot. One thing that did happen, I guess it's kind of a thorn. They don't have the water turned on here at the 501 shelter. So I was expecting to get water here at the last minute. Luckily, there was another hiker getting water because the water was turned off here. He told me about it. I was able to go down to the spring, get some water. Real easy place to get water, a nice bench. It's piped, and so even though it ended up being another 0.3 on the day, that was no big deal. And the water tastes good. The guys in the shelter, Sweet Tea is here with his dad, just Jamie, and another guy in the shelter is Good Water. And we're having conversations and sharing. Sweet Tea and his dad, just Jamie, have lived all around the world. And so that's pretty exciting, hearing about the different places they've lived and that kind of thing. And of course, their perspective on current world events. It's just kind of interesting and kind of sad, and I worry about the future for our kids and our grandkids. So that was it for today. See you later, bye.